Okay, so this is Laura Lee, and I'll go through it bit by bit now. So starting at bar 1. So we're playing the 3-chord C chord, so that's the first finger, second string only, with open first and third strings. So I play the chords where the chords are written in the music instead of the first note of the music written down. So play C chord, and then we'll play C, B, C notes. That's the first bar. Second bar is a D7 chord, and I'll play the D7 chord instead of the first note. Then I'll play A on the third string, second fret, and then a long D on the third fret of the second string, like that. So this is the second bar, D7. You notice I'm just putting the D on here, but I'm holding the D chord there just to make it easy for myself. So I'll play that bar 2, D7 again. D7 chord, then A in the D7, and then add on the D here. And it's 2 beats, that last note, the D. Then we go to a G7, so I'll play the G7 chord. I can play a 4-string chord for this. And my finger's on the first fret, first string, here on the F. So this is the G7 chord. Okay, and I'll play that in bar 3. Then I'll play a B note, which is open B. Then an A note, which is second fret, third string. And then I play the B note, open second string again. Okay, so it's G7 chord. And then to finish off that line, the C chord, which is a 3-note chord, 3-string chord, and that's to replace the C, the long C note on bar 4. So we just play 3 notes, 3 strings, open, first fret, open. 2, 3, 4. So we count that off as 4 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'll play that whole first line, C, D7, G7, C. And then we just repeat that for the second line completely, all the way through, exactly the same. So I'll play that whole thing again. C chord. 2, 3, 4. Now on bar 9, this is the third line of the music, we have A minor chord. Playing it with 3 strings, so it's open first string, first fret the second string, second fret of the third string. So if I sound out those notes, just a 3-string chord, A minor. So you've got the fingers clearing that first open string. So you have to push up your finger to the joints, stand 90 degrees to the fretboard like that. You should have your thumb about halfway up the neck on the back, just to give your hand some support. Okay, so with the A minor chord, you play the A minor to replace the first note, which is an E note, open E, but I'm playing the A minor chord, 3-string one, because it finishes with an E anyway, at the top there. But then there's 2 more notes in the 9th bar, and they're both E's. Top E, open string first, like that. But the second note of those two is a long note. So we play the chord for one beat, we play one note for one beat, and then we play the same note again, but for two beats this time. So it sounds like this: bar 9, A minor, 2. So you count 2 on that last beat, that last note, and it's an E, first string, open, like that. Okay? So the 9, bar 9 again, A minor. Okay, the next bar, bar 10, is an E7. And we do the same notes on that one, except we change the chord. We change the chord to an E7. So we'll play a 4-string chord this time. So the E7 is going to be open first string, open second string, first fret, third string, and then open fourth string. So 4 strings, I'll play from the top, the bass downwards. So my fingers on the first fret of the third string only. Make sure you get all the other strings clear and open. That's the E7 chord on bar 10. So, and after I play that chord, the 4-string chord, then I'll just play the open E top string again, exactly the same as I did with the A minor. So this was what bar 10 sounds like. 2. Notice that the last note again is 2 beats long. 2. Okay. So the first 2 bars of that third line are the 9th bar and the 10th bar, A minor going to E7. That's what it should sound like. A minor, E7. Now we're on bar 11, back to the A minor again, but this time there are more notes to play after the chord. Remember, we're playing the chords to replace just the first note of each bar. In this case, we'll play the A minor chord, which replaces an E note, the open E chord note, but we're playing the A minor chord, 3 strings. That's open top string, first fret, second string, second fret, third string. And that chord, that A minor chord, will sound like this. After that we have a D note, a C note, and then back to the D note. So all that's after the A minor chord on bar 11. Let me play that full speed and then I'll go through it slowly. Sorry, do that again. D, C, D. I'm putting the note on here, the D. You don't have to hold that chord, the A minor, but you can hold it longer. This way I'm just playing the notes. Those notes are D on the second string and C on the second string on the first fret there. So third fret, first fret. And then the last bar of that line, bar 12, is an E7 chord, and it's just held for 4 beats. So the E7 chord again is open first, open second, first fret, third, open fourth should sound like this. Make sure you get your finger clear so all 4 strings play. So this is the E7, so I'll play the E7 chord and it's just 4 beats. We'll play it once. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So that's what the last bar on that third line says. That's bar 12, E7. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the A minor going into the E7 sounds like this on bars 11 and 12. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'll play that whole line again. Bars 9, 10, 11, 12. A minor, E7, A minor, E7. Okay, here we go. Okay, now we'll move on to bar 13 and the last line, which is 4 bars. The chords are C, and then on the third beat of the first bar we change to an A7 chord. Then bar 2 is a D7 chord, bar 3 is a G7 chord, and then bar 4 is back to the C. So we're replacing each one of the chord notes, the notes underneath those chords, with a chord rather than play that particular note. Okay. Now with the C, that's easy. We've got open first, first fret, second string, and open third. Should sound like this. It's a 3-string chord. Again, if you need to get your finger up at 90 degrees like this, to clear that first string open, then push your hand around, get your thumb about halfway on the neck at the back, and push down hard on that first fret. Okay, that's a 3-string C chord. Just the same as we had right at the beginning of Aurelie track here. This is on page 17, by the way, of the book. Okay, so C is the C chord followed by the E note of open E first string. Like that. That's just the first 2 beats of bar 13. And I'm playing an upstroke on that top E string, open. Now when we change to the A7 chord, now I was going to play the A7 as a 3-string chord where my second finger goes to the 2nd fret of the 2nd string and it plays a C sharp, that note. And the other notes in this chord are open first string, then the 2nd fret on the 2nd string, and then open 3rd string, the G. So it would sound like this. However, what I'm doing, I'm following the line, the note, which is actually an F. The note is on the top line of the staff underneath the A7 chord, and that's an F note. And I think it sounds better if I put that in as well as the A7 chord, because the melody of the song kind of requires, it needs that F. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the A7 chord like this, open first, 2nd fret 2nd, open 3rd, but I'm also going to put in my first finger onto the 1st fret of the 1st string to play the F there. That's in the melody, in the music. And then I'll put this A7, what's left of the A7 here. So I've actually got 1st fret, 1st string, F, 2nd fret, 2nd string, C sharp, and then open 3rd, G. So that chord with the F sounds like this. That's the A7 chord. And that F is there because it's an important note in the melody. And then after the A7, we open up the chord and play the open E on the top string, first string, like that. That's the bar 13. That's the whole bar. So we play the C, E, extended A7 with the F in it, and then open first string E. Okay, I'll play that again. Okay, C chord, E, A7 with F, E again. See, I'm taking my finger off there to play the top string. Okay, one more time on bar 13, C and A7. Okay, so that's not on there because I'm playing that top string. Okay, so the bar 14 is a D7 chord, and we'll replace the first note with the D7 chord. We've got second fret on the first string, third finger. This is the D7 chord construction. Then my first finger goes on the first fret of the second string, the C. And my third finger goes on the second fret of the third string, the A. And I'll put those together as a sort of a backwards triangle shape. And with the D7, of course, because it's a D7, I can play the open D chord note on the fourth string there. So this is a 4-string chord. Okay, so that's the D7. After the D7, in bar 14, we have an A note, which is second fret on the G string. Then we have a D note, which is third fret of the B string, or the second string. And then immediately after that, we have the first fret of the second string, or the B string, on the C note. So those 3 notes after the D7 chord sound like this: A, D, C. So we play the D7 chord, and I'm keeping my D7 chord there while I play the D and the A and the C. So I'll play the D7 chord, 4 strings, then the A note on the third string, which is there, it's already in the D7 chord, and then the D note, I'm playing with my little finger on the third fret, second string, and then I just take that back off again to play the second string where the C note is here. It's already in the D7 chord. Okay, so D7, A, D, C. Let's try that at full speed. Sorry, try again. It's a 4-string chord, remember? So we're starting on the D string, the open D string. A, D, C, A, D, C. Okay. Then we have a G7. So the G7 chord is just 4 strings, and it's first finger on the first fret of the first string, on the F there. So all 4 strings open except that one. That's the G7 of bar 15 on the last line there. Now we replace that first note with the G7 chord, and after the G7 we have an open B string, the B in the middle of the staff. That's an open string, second string. Then we jump up to the E string, the top E note, open first string, and then we come back down to the D on the second string. Okay, that's the third fret. So that 15th bar is G7 followed by B, E, D. Okay, that's bar 15, the G7. G7, B, E, D. Okay. And then the last bar, bar 16, is simply a C chord and held for 4 beats. Okay, so C chord again, open first fret, second string, the C, and then the open G string, the third string. Now we're keeping this as a 3-string chord, so it's just simply this. Sound out those notes, make sure you're getting your finger at 90 degrees to the neck here, so you're not muting that string. That string should be open, like that. And when we play that as 4 beats, we just simply play that chord and hold it for the count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So let's go through the whole of the last line, bars 13, 14, 15 and 16. That's C, A7 with the F, then a D7, then a G7, and then the last C chord. Okay, so I'll go through it slowly. Okay, once again at that speed. C, A7, D7, G7, C. Okay, I'll break that down again for you. C chord, 3 strings. Then I hit the top E string, open, first string. So 3 strings on the C chord, then the top string, an upstroke there. Then I play that A7 chord, but I'm adding in the F note that's in the music there, in the score. So I play the A7 like this, open, 2nd fret, open, but I'm changing that last string, or the first string there, to put the F on the 1st fret, that note. So I'm playing open, 2, 1 in the frets. And then the next note after the A7 is the open E string on the top. Again, like that. I'm just playing it with an upstroke, just for the convenience. Okay, so C, then an E, so it's C chord, E note, A7 with the F, E note, like that. That's bar 13. Then the D7 chord, bar 14, D chord, D7 chord, followed by the A that's already in the D7 chord, so I don't have to move anything. Then I play a D with my little finger here on the D note, the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. I can play it with any other finger if I take the chord off. So I could play it with the chord still on with my little finger like this. And then go to the C note, second string, 1st fret here. Okay, so that's keeping the chord on most of the time. That's bar 14, D7, A, D, C. Like that. Or I can take the D7 chord off completely. And I can play that D note and the A note and the C note with any of my fingers that work. D7 chord, take off the D, but I'm still holding the A there on the 2nd fret, can jump to the D on the 3rd fret, then the C on the 1st fret. But it seems like a lot of finger movement when I can just leave the D7 chord there. Play the D7, like that, the triangle shaped chord. A, D, C. 2 of those notes are already in the D7 chord, the A on the 3rd string and the C on the 2nd string. And all I have to do is add that D on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string and then take it off again. Then I'm going to the G7 on bar 15. B, then a B note, E, D, and then open, then the chord of C, 3-string chord. So I'll play that G7 again, the G7 followed by B, E, D. Then the C chord, 3 strings. Okay, so that last line, all of the whole last line, bar 13 to 16, C, A7, D7, G7 and C. Okay, that's orally, or Elvis Presley's version is called Love Me Tender. Okay.